WWE fans think they know who's running the show. But behind the lights, the pyro, and the perfectly timed promos, a silent war has been brewing, one that's starting to leak into public view. It's not a rivalry between wrestlers, it's a clash between two of the biggest forces ever to control WWE's future. Triple H has been the architect of the new era, and The Rock is now more than just a part-time face on TV. He's a decision-maker, a power player. And quietly, their visions for WWE are starting to collide. It started small, little things. Production decisions, match timings, promo placements. But now, it's turning into something far more serious. During WrestleMania 40 season, insiders reported a creative divide so tense it was described as two different shows happening under the same roof. The Rock's return wasn't just a ratings booster, it was a chess move. With his new seat on the TKO board of directors, Johnson entered WWE not just as a performer, but as someone with real backstage power. And once he stepped in, everything began shifting. If you're enjoying this breakdown and you're into what really happens behind the cameras in WWE, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Backstage sources began leaking details. The Rock wasn't just showing up to entertain. He was reviewing scripts, challenging creative plans, suggesting edits, making calls that usually go through Triple H. But now, Triple H isn't the only one in the driver's seat, and that's causing friction. According to insiders, Rock brought in longtime collaborator Brian Gewirtz to influence writing from the inside. Gewirtz, who worked with The Rock for years, was suddenly showing up in meetings, pitching his own angles, ones that didn't align with Triple H's long-term storytelling arcs. Tension exploded when WrestleMania 40's booking was finalized. Cody Rhodes was supposed to finish his story. Seth Rollins was set for a title-defining performance. But then came a curveball, one fueled by real-life politics. The Rock inserted himself into the Cody-Roman arc, delaying Cody's victory by a full year. That delay wasn't just creative, it was strategic. Johnson reportedly wanted a larger spotlight, not just on himself, but on the version of WWE he envisions. More mainstream, more viral, more celebrity-infused. Triple H, on the other hand, pushed back. Publicly, he stayed quiet. But insiders say he fought hard to preserve long-term plans. Cody's eventual win wasn't just about fan service, it was a message. The story will end the way we want it to end, not the way boardroom politics dictate. Behind the scenes, it's become a tug of war. One side is driven by heritage, wrestling roots, slow builds, and meaningful payoffs. The other wants sizzle, global media headlines, and crossover moments that break the internet. Some writers are now caught in the middle. Reports say creative meetings are divided. Triple H's team plans long arcs for Judgment Day, Bloodline Fallout, and Rollins' redemption, while The Rock's influence pushes for cameos, high-impact returns, and swerves that spike viewership instantly. In short, one side plays the long game. The other plays for viral buzz. And now fans are starting to feel it too. During recent episodes, the tone has been shifting. Segments run shorter. Some matches feel rushed. Others get more focused than expected, especially when a big name is involved. Cody's arc felt like it paused mid-sentence for months, just to make room for The Rock's family angle. Seth Rollins openly acknowledged the disruption in interviews, hinting that creative plans were shifting without explanation. Triple H is still the head of creative, but Dwayne Johnson isn't just a guest anymore. He's in the meetings, he's influencing decisions, and more importantly, he has shareholders behind him. WWE has always had power struggles, but this one is different. This isn't about egos clashing over title runs. It's a boardroom chess match, a game of influence, and the ring is only one part of the battlefield. At a recent internal event, one executive reportedly joked, "We have two emperors now." That's not far from the truth. Triple H wants to build a sustainable era, one that honors NXT graduates, long-term feuds, and wrestling as sport. The Rock wants a hybrid of sports entertainment and blockbuster moments. He's aiming for Hollywood storytelling in a wrestling package. Both visions are valid, but they can't coexist forever. When Johnson pushed for more creative input, Some longtime WWE staff raised eyebrows. Unlike Triple H, who climbed through developmental live events and talent management, The Rock is coming in at the top, with massive influence but less day-to-day connection with the locker room. That disconnect is causing unease among talent. Some feel like they're performing in a split company, one where priorities shift weekly, depending on who's sitting at the table. One source said, "Some weeks we write for the story. Other weeks we write for the moment. That's not sustainable, and the wrestlers know it. While veterans like Randy Orton and AJ Styles stick to their arcs, newer stars are struggling to find consistency. One week they're on Raw, the next week they're scrapped. No explanation. That kind of inconsistency is often blamed on creative, but in reality, it's the result of power shifts. Now, as WWE heads towards SummerSlam and builds out the rest of the year, fans should watch closely. Every return, every promotion, every sudden change in direction. They're not just storyline choices, they're signs, clues about who's winning this war behind the curtain. Is WWE becoming a studio product, shaped by brand deals and media partnerships? Or is it holding on to its identity as a wrestling company first? The battle isn't settled, it's ongoing, and the next few months may determine everything. One thing's certain, the show isn't just what happens in the ring. It's what's happening because of what's happening behind the scenes. And right now, WWE is fighting to define who controls its future. That question isn't just some debate among fans. It's a problem that keeps boiling backstage. And sitting right in the middle of it all is The Rock. While he brings global attention, ratings, and sponsorship buzz, his presence doesn't come without consequences. His return didn't just shake up WrestleMania plans, it rerouted an entire year's worth of creative work Triple H had been building. When Cody Rhodes was forced to step aside, it wasn't because of storyline, it was because Dwayne Johnson said yes to a deal. And suddenly, the fans who'd been chanting, "Finish the story," were told to wait. That delay didn't just frustrate fans, it gutted morale backstage. Several mid-card talents quietly admitted they no longer trust the system, because no matter how hard they work, one legacy return can push them right back down the card. Triple H, who spent the last 2 years trying to build credibility, was stuck. Corporate decisions were now overriding creative momentum. One source even said, "Every time Rock returns, it's like pressing reset on progress." And for a lot of performers, that reset means months of lost opportunity. Triple H had a plan. He was building a foundation based on consistent weekly storytelling. Wrestlers like Gunther, Sami Zayn, and Damian Priest were finally finding their rhythm. But all of that was thrown into chaos the second Rock showed interest. Entire arcs had to be rewritten, events reshuffled, and superstars demoted to dark matches. The message being sent was clear: legends come first. Now here's what most fans don't see. SmackDown and Raw plans get torn apart last minute. Full scripts scrapped, matches pulled. Rock's schedule forces rewrites even hours before the show. Wrestlers show up ready to perform, only to be told they've been cut. And the worst part? Nobody's told why. One night it was Ricochet's match that got axed. Another night, it was an entire backstage segment with Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. These aren't random choices. They're signs of a deeper issue. WWE is playing catch-up to a celebrity presence instead of staying ahead with compelling weekly content. This isn't just a one-off issue, it's becoming a pattern. Look at what happened with LA Knight. Momentum was red hot, but his push hit a brick wall the second Rock re-entered the picture. Nobody said it directly, but everyone knew the reason. Even veterans are frustrated. Some quietly whisper that the locker room is walking on eggshells when The Rock is around. You can't build long-term trust when the entire system shifts for one man, no matter how famous he is. It's not about hating on legends. It's about space. WWE's newer stars are fighting to rise while being drowned out by nostalgia. The Rock's every promo takes up 15 minutes of airtime. That's time pulled from building the next generation. And in a business where every minute counts, that adds up quickly. And the fans are noticing. Online forums are flooded with people saying the product feels disconnected. They want consistent narratives, not blockbuster interruptions. And for a company promising a new era, that's a dangerous reputation to build. Triple H wants long-term storytelling. Rock's return forces shortcuts. And every time that happens, the trust fans have in Triple H's vision takes a hit. Because when the current roster gets sidelined, the audience notices. They know when something's been cut. They know when the story suddenly shifts to favor buzz over booking. So now the question isn't just about who main events WrestleMania. It's about how much power one man should hold over an entire company's creative vision, and how long the locker room can wait for their turn before losing faith altogether. Let us know in the comments what you think. Does The Rock's return help or hurt the current WWE roster? Your opinion matters, and we're reading every reply.